by order of Harbinger Nicholas. A bounty of 18 silver to be paid to the brave soul who returns with proof of the marauding bear Deathclaw's demise. Deathclaw should be considered extremely dangerous and is responsible for the killing of a survey team on the coast to the northwest of Bloodwatch. Travelers are advised to avoid the area.
Now that we have made our presence known to the Satyr, we must send a message that we will not tolerate the Burning Legion's hounds in these lands. Too long have the Draenei fled in the wake of the Legion and its minions, adventurer. Wherever they have found us, they have shown no mercy. We must not permit the Satyr to exploit the Exodar's crash and use the corrupted crystals as weapons. Go north to where their leader resides in Axarian. Destroy him and recover the corrupted crystals he has been gathering. Everything that has happened since the crash is little more than a blur. It seems like a lifetime ago that I was aboard the Exodar. Now, my reality is restricted to this island with its mutant creatures and endless sea of blood elf agents. Soon it will be as if I've never known anything different. Do you think often of your family, adventurer? There were a number of families aboard the Exodar, but I've heard of very few being reunited. I myself am looking for traces of my husband Galain, who was a technician in the cryocore. The wreckage of it is located to the west and it's swarming with blood elves. I must find out what became of Galain. Even news of his death is better than never knowing. My husband will be wearing a pendant identical to my own. They were a gift from my sister.
About a week ago, my research team and I were out exploring the western wilds of Bloodmist when we were attacked by bloodthirsty spiders. The effect of the crystal contamination was clearly evident as these spiders were massive and extremely aggressive. I managed to escape, but my team wasn't so lucky. We must not let the same fate befall others. Go west to the Amberweb Pass and destroy the spiders and their matriarch, Zara. Now that we have the baseline crystal, we're going to need samples from more dangerous areas of the island to complete the set I'll be sending to the Exodar. The next sample must come from the crystals controlled by the Blood Elves in the Bladewood area, to the northwest of Bloodwatch. I have heard reports that they alter and harvest the crystals for use in some magical apparatus. See if you can find one that has not yet been incorporated into one of their devices and mine a sample from it. The Hand of Argus has established a forward base at Vindicator's Rest, but they are sorely outnumbered by both the Blood Elves and mutated wildlife. Without backup, their outpost is in danger of falling, and we'd have no way to keep an eye on events near the Vector Coil. Report to Scout Jorley at Vindicator's Rest to the northwest, and offer her your assistance, adventurer.
Most of the creatures touched by the crystal's energy have been corrupted in the same ways. Strange marks on their flesh, increased aggression, and small crystal shards in their bodies. However, the fouled water spirits north of here appear to be turning entirely to crystal. I've never seen anything react to the crystals this way before. When we explored the foul pool, they were particularly dangerous. We must get rid of them before the Sunhawks can exploit them as a new source of energy. We don't dare abandon our post, or wander too far from Vindicator's Rest, traveler. The mutated creatures closest to the Vector Coil have been changed profoundly by energy leaking from the crystals. The mutated Tandlers appear to have gained a certain degree of sentience. They've learned to create, set and conceal vicious traps that can ensnare even the most careful warrior. We'll never be able to move against the Sunhawks if we're constantly forced to look underfoot. Attack the problem at its source, adventurer.
How does a Tauren hide in a cherry tree? He paints his hooves red. So I have this idea for a great movie. It's about two gnomes who find a bracelet of power, and they have to take it to the burning steps and cast it into the cauldron. They form the Brotherhood of the Bracelet. Along the way, they're trailed by a murloc named Gotham, who's obsessed with the bracelet, and 9 bracelet boogeymen. It could be a 3-parter called Ruler of the Bracelet. The first part would be called The Brotherhood of the Bracelet, followed by A Couple of Towers, with a climactic ending called Hey, the King's Back.
Be very quiet. I'm observing murlocs. Living in an oversized turtle shell is a sacrifice I'm willing to make for science. After all, if the murlocs see me here, they'll react to my presence and contaminate my data. As the first Noomish member of the Explorers League, I'm boldly going places no dwarf has gone before. I thought so. That grumpy old dwarf was supposed to help me carry my equipment and gather data, but all he does is sit in that strange Draenei town, drinking himself into a stupor.
You have a great day now.
Keep your voice down, and don't call attention to me. If the Murlocs detect my presence, the experiment will be ruined. I've already come perilously close to contaminating my data. While I was foraging yesterday, one of them must have wandered too close and discovered my camp. I returned just in time to see two of them carrying off a crate with most of my equipment. It's bound to be in one of their settlements around here, but I can't risk revealing my presence. Are you willing to help? My observations and writings about the Black Silk Murlocs are quite illuminating, adventurer, but they are just the beginning. I plan to return to Ironforge with items produced by the Black Silk's rudimentary crafting skills. The problem is that the Black Silk carry these items with them at all times, and I can't have their blood on my conscience. If you're willing to help me gather the idols carried by Black Silk seers and crude knives of the Black Silk warriors and shore strikers, I won't ask how you came by them.
Good for...
Damn those blood elves and their reckless magic. Isam sent my squad out on a reconnaissance mission to search for the Sun Gate a few days ago. Needless to say, we found it. Whatever those fool elves are transporting through that portal is causing void energy to be released. The area is teeming with void critters. We must destroy them before they have a chance to grow into void anomalies. You'll find the source of the creatures southwest of here, near the Sun Gate. Kill them and report back to Isam when you're done. I was hoping Bloodwatch would send reinforcements once they learned what we're up against. During our mission to reconnoiter the Sunhawks and their portal, I sustained a serious wound. Scout Lori has managed to staunch the bleeding and she's trying to figure out a way to evacuate me to Bloodwatch. The problem is that we'd have to abandon our position here in order to guarantee a safe return. As soon as we leave this consecrated ground, we'll be set upon by Ravagers. If you can clear some of the enraged Ravagers, it might allow us to make the trip back safely.
The Legion will fall.
What it means to be a Hand of Argus. We are agents of the light. We serve without question. We die without question. Well done. These will provide the raw materials for another batch of enhancement crystals. You're welcome to choose from among the 3 kinds of crystals I can make. I find each of them useful for stalking different kinds of prey. Very well, here are the crystals that I have in Venturer. Use them well.
May your days be long.
Very well, here are the crystals that I have in Venturer. Use them well. Very well, here are the crystals that I have in Venturer. Use them well. Very well, here are the crystals that I have in Venturer. Use them well.
Naru have not forgotten us.
The others look at this landscape and see only death, corruption, and adversity. None of those things are in short supply. True, but that view ignores the opportunities presented by our environment. I will not stand by and watch these opportunities go ignored, adventurer. With your help, we can demonstrate to the others here at Bloodwatch just how to make use of the environment and its creatures. This will keep us supplied for quite a while, and preparing it for consumption will certainly keep me busy. Thank you for your help, adventurer. These seem sturdy enough to do the job. Thank you for your help, adventurer. Your contribution to Bloodwatch's defense will not be forgotten. When we first encountered Flutterers, they showed few signs of mutation. As the corruption got progressively worse, The moths and other species began to show signs of contamination. It has progressed to the point where they damage nearly everything they come in contact with. They're amplifying the damage being done by the crystal shards scattered by the Exodar's crash. We have no choice but to begin culling their population in the lands north of Bloodwatch.
Without their leader, and with the recovery of the corrupted crystals underway, we can safely keep the satyr in check. Light knows how many more of these wretched creatures are out there. Harbinger Mikolas and I are grateful for the help you've provided in dealing with the satyr before they could become a larger threat. Your work stands as a reminder that vigilance is the key to victory against the Legion and its minions. There's more than enough here for my research. Thank you, adventurer. If you find any other evidence that the crystals are corrupting Bloodmist's native creatures, let me know right away.
Well done. From what I've heard, it couldn't have been an easy fight. You've more than earned your reward, adventurer. This shard is much different from the initial sample. Do you see how it pulsates like that? That's worrisome. I'll make a note in my report of the alterations the Blood Elves appear to have made to this crystal. Thank you again for your help, adventurer. There's just one sample remaining before I can send this set of crystals to the Exodar adventurer. The final sample must come from the Satyr stronghold of Axarian to the northwest. I'm not certain what to expect from this crystal sample, but I'm sure there will be some signs of corruption. Take care to mine your shard from the crystal that looks like the ones you took your previous samples from, or else our researchers cannot make a valid comparison.
Till we meet again.